There are many types of assignment that you can create, where students can submit different types of coursework via Moodle for grading and feedback. Moodle allows submission of many types of file, including text and Office files, multimedia files such as video and audio, and online text, which are all managed in similar ways, with minor differences in workflow. To create an assignment for online submission, click Turn Editing On, then click Add an Activity or Resource, found in the bottom right of every Moodle section. Select Assignment from the Activity menu. The Adding New Assignment page will open, where you can choose the settings for your assignment. First, name your assignment. This will be what the students see as the link to the online submission, so make it as clear as possible. An example might be, submit your module PowerPoint video here. Describe what is expected for this assignment. Try to keep this brief and to the point. If you have more in-depth assessment details in a module handbook, then use this space to remind students to look there for this information. Tick the Display Description checkbox to allow students to see the description displayed alongside the assignment name on the main course page. The Additional Files section is mainly used for 48-hour timed assessments and is not needed for general assignments. Use the Availability section to set the dates from which submission is allowed and the due date by which submission is required, including the exact closing time to avoid any ambiguity. If you enable cut-off date, you can allow students to submit late. However, we strongly recommend against this practice and that cut-off dates be left disabled, as is the default setting. Grades and Feedback Release Date specifies the date when you will release the feedback and grades to the students. Please note that this is an internal staff notification within Moodle only. Students do not see this date, so you can use this as a marking reminder to yourself if you want. You can now choose the types of work that students will submit. The most common submission types are file submissions and video assignments. The online text option is for text to be typed directly into fields in the Moodle assignment. If this is selected, you can also apply a word limit, which applies to this submission type only. The maximum number of files that can be uploaded is set to 20 by default, but we recommend you make this a smaller number. If you're expecting only one file, please specify this. File submissions are used for all standard file uploads except large videos. The maximum allowed file size default of 150 megabytes applies to file submission only. You can increase the maximum file size for documents, as detailed in our video How to Increase the Size of Files That Can Be Uploaded to a Moodle Assignment, but this should not be done to allow video file uploads. If your students need to submit a video file larger than 150 megabytes, then you should enable the Video Assignment option. This will allow students to submit files up to 2 gigabytes in size. If students should only submit a video file with no other supporting text or Office documents, you can untick the File Submission option to make this clear. Ensure that students are aware if they are required to submit both a media file and a document, and in general make sure to clarify the types of file submissions you expect. You can set the maximum submission size to less than the default course limit of 150 megabytes if desired, and specify accepted file types to ensure students only submit appropriate file types in formats that you can view. If you don't specify the file types you expect, and those that you will accept, students will be able to upload files that you may not be able to view or that may not be in an appropriate format. The Choose button allows you to select common file types that can be submitted. If you've set file type restrictions, they'll be displayed here. Here, for example, we're specifying that only doc, docx, and PDF files will be accepted for file submissions to accompany video assignment files. The Feedback Types section defines the type of feedback you'll offer for the assignment. Feedback Comments allows you to type directly into a text box on the screen and is good for quick comments. Feedback Files lets you attach a feedback file or an annotated version of the submission. The Offline Grading Worksheet is a spreadsheet that allows you to enter grades for students and upload them in bulk when using the Moodle core marking tools, and should always be left enabled. Even if you don't use it for marking, it can still be useful, as it's the only way to retrospectively see what a student's anonymous participant number was, after marking has finished and anonymity has been removed. We recommend leaving all of these options selected. Students will only see the feedback options you actually use. Submission settings are set globally as per university guidelines and cannot be changed. Group submissions are used when students need to submit work in groups. Please make sure that you've set your groups up in the Participants area of your Moodle course before enabling this option. See our Creating Groups in Moodle and Group Submissions in Moodle videos for further guidance in this area. Leave notifications at default recommended values. For the Turnitin Plagiarism plugin setting, please see our video Turnitin Settings in a Moodle Assignment. The Grade section is where you set how the assignment will be graded. Anonymous marking is enabled. Please do not disable this unless you have a good reason to do so. You can choose either point or scale grading types. By default, point grading is set to points out of 100, equal to percentage, and should not be changed. You do not need to change the 100 to reflect the weighting of your assignment, as appropriate weightings will be applied automatically in Unity. All Moodle assignments should be set to marks out of 100. If you're doing simple pass-fail marking or any other type of scale grading, select Scale and use the drop-down to select the appropriate scale type. The Common Module settings link the assessment to the student record system Unity, which is crucial for summative assessment. Use the drop-down box to select the assessment in Unity. Grades will automatically transfer to Unity once you have released them to students. Group mode is used when marker allocation has been set up using the groups function, or if you are setting up a group work submission. In either instance, set this to separate groups. Restrict access is available on all activities, but not normally used with online submissions, as restrictions are set in the availability section. However, if you want to specify additional preconditions for being able to see the assignment, such as achieving a specific grade, you can do so here. Click Save and Return to Course, or Save and Display to view your settings before exiting the assignment.